income. It's a corporate bond, and we know BlackRock was just pegged by the U.S. By the government to start buying corporate bonds back.
Okay.
I know this because I was wrong about it and found out that it wasn't treasuries they were buying; it was corporate bonds. So corporate bonds, there are convertible bonds, and you can convert those bonds into U.S. equities, like stocks. So they'll issue these, and isn't this just what Citadel just did too? They took a bond loan. I wonder how many of these are convertible bonds. What we need to figure out is what the size of the convertible bond market is, because if that's the case, then it could mean a bunch of people that are holding these convertible bonds don't have to report the shares because they don't essentially exist yet.
Okay, so let me introduce you first. So this is Austin Tobitt. You probably, if you have been watching the show for the last 2 days, he's been on here every day, co-hosting, helping out, especially with that interview with the congressman. So he is also the author of the Everything Short. He is the author of the BlackRock Bag Holders and Walking Like a Duck, Talking Like a Duck. We're talking about convertible bonds. I don't have the context, so I'll let Austin give a little more of a refresher on what's going on here. But $600 million of bonds that Citadel issued is something that he just mentioned. They were BBB minus bonds at like a 3.3% interest. Essentially very crappy bonds that a failing company needs money ASAP, such as Citadel. So tell us a little bit more. What's going on?
I don't know enough about that with Citadel. All I'm thinking of right now, like in the web of kind of like the breadcrumbs of stuff that I know, is that Citadel was just doing this stuff with bonds, and I'm now thinking I've just started thinking about convertible bonds because the stock market has to report all of the shares that it's trading and exchanging, but I'm wondering if these convertible bonds are held off the balance sheet until they're actually converted from a bond. Like I buy it's like saying you can take your mortgage on your house, which is a bond, and convert it into a certain number of stock at any moment.
Okay.
And I don't know what the rules are for that, but if it's possible, it means that BlackRock, because they've been buying all these bonds, and we don't know how many bonds are convertible if they have them, but it could mean that they could legit like throw down Exodia.
Uh-oh.
Or it could mean that they are giving them back to hedge funds by converting them and keeping them off of the stock market.
Okay. So how do we?
I need to know more. We need to know more. So I just posted something, and I'm like, it's like a everybody needs to kind of like, what do people know about this? Because this just came to the top of my head. I don't have time to throw it in a DD, but it's a serious question.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to like pose it. I'm trying to get that word out. And second, dude, this thing with Belfort. Why didn't he say anything? Did he not get to ask any questions to him about like what was going on? Like why could he explain anything?
So I personally didn't watch the full video itself. I only watched the first 5-10 minutes. But we had Jezebel currently in the chat, and also told us earlier that he didn't really offer any explanation of why he thought the stock was overvalued.
Okay, so this what it sounds like is this guy just knew that he was setting this kid up. Belfort just did this video about, telling us that he's not effing leaving, about this whole movement. A lot of people have this all hyped up for him, and then he comes on and he just like throws his face in the ground.
Seriously, I thought that was weird too.
It's legit like he just got bullied. Like all he had to do was ask, "Why don't you report shorts?" Somebody needs to tell him that. I don't know how to get that to him or tell him that, but somebody needs to tell him that. Why don't you just prove us wrong then? Dude, it irked me, man. When I watched that, and then and Trey was just like, devastated, dude. He just thrown up to kind of his someone I guess that he was looking up to, like a lot of people were looking up to, and then just got like, holy crap, man.
And I know. Very similar to, like, I wasn't sure what was going to happen when Pippa Malmgren showed up on the show. I wasn't sure what was going to happen when Congressman Ro Khanna was going to show on the show, because all you get to do is talk to their aides, get to talk to their, like, assistants. And I remember Trey saying that, like, I was talking to your assistant, you were sick. Seems like that was the first time you actually got to talk to Jordan face-to-face, or even
That's what
electronically.
I'm saying. That's terrible, dude. Why? Other than to just, like, prop yourself up? You're just going to step on the guy and put yourself in the light for a minute? Like, these are the people that did this to us. You know what I mean? These are the people that have been doing this to us. They made a movie about him doing it with Leonardo DiCaprio, and now everybody thinks he's an idol?
Well,
I
was confused too. And the reason I was confused too, and I'm like, why do people care so much about what he has to say? And the end result is, well, he is the cartoon version of the movement, right? Him holding the diamond hands. That picture of like Rensel's avatar is still a cartoon version of Leonardo DiCaprio holding diamonds that is based on Jordan Belfort. So at the end of the day, people care.
Anyway, man, that's just kind of what I was thinking. What I was processing is like, dude, Trey shouldn't feel bad. Trey was set up.
Yeah.
Trey got blindsided.
And Trey had to pay for that interview too.
Oh my God.
Oh, you don't know that. So guess how much he he paid.
He just sold him out and threw him under the bus, man. Yeah. This guy spends his day pumping this information to people, telling them like, this is why this is still on. He gets this group of people and then finds out that this guy is like who this movement is now based on, gets him to come on without knowing anything. And dude, that's too conspicuous.
Certainly is. And so the end of the
why go to the extreme of destroying this, like a YouTube star? Like, why go to the extreme of doing that if you're not threatened by it?
Well, more so like read the room, right? And I guess I don't know how he actually I'm assuming that the caricature that Leonardo DiCaprio like represents as the I'm not effing leaving guy who like was leading up to him leaving the company and then deciding mid-moment to say I'm not leaving. That part of the movie is probably true to his character, right? He might be like, oh, I love AMC, all my choice, and all these like cryptic tweets, and then even saying that I'm not effing leaving, and then coming on the show, making a split-second decision to be like, I'll just talk about cars. I love buying cars on credit. I bought it for my girlfriend, X, Y, and Z. And at the end of the day, like speaking from the mind, well, whatever mind, right? Speaking from like a place that doesn't actually understand what he represents. So maybe he didn't understand that.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think this guy came on and set him up, knew that this thing was getting a movement, and that's what got me thinking about the options market, right? Because this is just another like a hedge fund threat. If he made a comment in there about the stock being overvalued, well, no, it's not, because that's the market price. In accounting, you go by the fair value, and whatever the most objective way to determine that is what's the price of the stock. Okay, we've held this consistently. There's something bigger going on here. And options are based off of those future projections of stock prices. So prior to this, you're only talking about like options being traded in you know, I can't say, I don't know the dark side, but it couldn't have been swings of like hundreds of dollars on some of these stocks. So what is your options exposure? And what do we get yesterday is that OCC saying, given the update on the minimum capital requirement. They're doing that in the options market too.
Oh yeah.
So if that's the case, then it could be serious. It could be serious exposure, and it just seems too ill-timed to have that come in and try and like it. I just see it as another attempt to shut it down. So, I really just saw that as an opportunity for him to come in and I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too far into it, but. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck. You know what I mean?
Walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and he waddled away.
That's what I'm saying.
I do want to get your opinion on what. Well, obviously, we want to talk more about convertible bonds because that's now the title of this video. But hey, Ryan Cohen is the chairperson now. Well, not now, sweet. But 6'9", which is, I'm assuming his thing. Honestly, you can't make this up. On 69, he is going to be the chairman of the board of directors. Like. That's pretty sweet. And then the share recall. I'm not sure if you heard about that, but that is the other piece of big news.
Yeah, I've been getting caught up with stuff in like just personal life.
Oh yeah, how's your day?
And this is just something that I thought of before, like getting in touch with you 10 minutes ago. So I haven't done a whole lot of looking on anything else, but. So convertible bonds are just it's just a way that they may not be reporting them, because if they have we're all in this question of right now of where are these shares coming from or where could they be coming from, and there's a convertible bond market where companies and hedge funds will hold on to convertible bonds. I don't know the total exposure of this yet, but if they have to convert those bonds into securities that have now gone up 5-6 fold in value, like if they have convertible bonds with GameStop in them, where they can convert them into GameStop, what that could do to the number of shares that are outstanding. And if that's something that anybody has looked into, I would appreciate working with you on that, unless you've ran into like this dead end. But this could be, there's something to this.
Yeah, we can look into that. Did you see that cool infographic that I sent you, made by an ape that has watched this stream, saw our 6 bullet points, and then turned it into like an already pretty darn good graphic for Congress people to look at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I'm trying to scan through as much of this stuff as I can, with just the volume, the volume that's coming in. But I did see it. I appreciate all the help. I appreciate how this is starting to I feel like it's becoming more focused. I think people are definitely digging into a lot of different things that are kind of related. We're coming up with related stuff. So many people are pumping out good DDs, and it's just hard to process all of it, at the same time. So if people ask me certain comments about things that are really trending right now, a lot of times I don't know. But it's not to say that they're not legitimate. So I saw part of that article. I just can't speak, or the bullet points. I just can't speak to.
That's a great place to. I'm gonna reach out. I think I already got emailed by the person that made this chart. So we have him. We can have him basically take into consideration how graphically this is going to look, and we'll crowdsource this. This is a really good way to be able to bring the community in. Exactly what Mason was talking about, right? Trying to get apes to involve themselves in this process.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. That's great. I hope. I'm appreciative of that. That's definitely something we need. And as long as we can mass paste it to where it's generalized for enough people to just say, hey, I can grab this, pump it into an envelope, ship it out.
Put it on the bulletin board right out. So some person identified that there is a scrolling billboard right outside of Citadel's main office. So we put it right there.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That'd be really cool. Well, before we leave this, actually, first of all, look at the AMC rip. Speaking of AMC, we're about 8 minutes left before power hour is over. Guys, pay attention to AMC's price action. We just broke out basically all of the loss that it had today, just made up for in a matter of minutes. So volume is going up on AMC. AMC also could be made if you think of, what was the car's name? Astro Martin car. I'm not a huge car buff, but this is the kind of car that Jordan Belfort was talking about almost the entire time. A 40-minute conversation, he kept talking about this car. Well, AMC, this car, right? Right now, reading between the lines is what one of the more popular DDs on AMC stock right now is that, Jordan Belfort is actually trying to tell you that he is secretly bullish. Given his character and given what you think about him, is he actually just trying to make you read between the lines and talking about a car instead?
I think people need to just stop listening to this guy altogether. Stop giving him a microphone.
Yeah.
I think this guy is. I think Jordan Belfort's a loser.
Ooh.
Plain simple. I think he is. I think that what he just did was he just came onto this kid's show, destroyed him, got the point across, and then just talked about the money that all these people are looking forward to possibly having and the things that would be real to them. This guy used to just do for fun. He's a drug addict. He's addicted to, going off of what the movie is saying. This guy is just, why are we even talking about him? This is just a part of the problem. We don't need to be idolizing people like this.
Okay.
We don't. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I tuned it down or toned it down or whatever, but I'm a little irritated about it.
Oh.
He's making me, rubbing me the wrong way, so to speak.
Emotions are good. It's good to, well, call it out. So, Jordan Belfort, it ball's in your court, right? We didn't like how you treated our boy. Gorilla's in the chat for Trey. You should have, at the very least, respected him and understood that his channel was specifically about, like, understanding the value of this stock, the deep effing value, and didn't respect that at all.
No, he didn't. He went on the show. He didn't care to be polite about it. It's the first thing he came out of. And I mean, people are watching a movie where this guy is saying the first person to talk loses. He's known for dominating conversations with people, and it's just an act. It's all of this is an act. All of this is just about who can be most confident with money. That's the reason why people act this way, and they belittle and they push down people like Trey, who's just waiting for this guy to come on there and talk about. The only thing that he knows about is this guy did a video and he thinks he's on his team.
Yeah.
I'm beating a dead horse about it, but my God.
Yeah.
God, it just, all you have to do is just say, okay, man, jokes aside, like, put everything aside, talk to me about why you are so confident in what you believe. And you'll find it's built on nothing but with the same stuff the economy is built on, just the stock market and all these hypothetical ways of accounting for things. It's just built on this paper. It's nothing.
Right. Go off. People are saying, tell them, King.
I'm just saying, like, it irritated me, man.
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about him anymore. We have that put out of the way. Let's, I don't know, how much do you want to circle back to convertible bonds? Because
I don't know how much time I have. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to stay on.
Sure. That's a fun little teaser.
I can touch base with you in a little bit. I've got some other things I need to take care of. I think we really have something here with these convertible bonds. It needs to be looked at. We need to figure out if they have the option to convert these, and if they are converting them, it needs to be red flagged, because it means that they are not using the stock market to cover. And it could have a huge impact on a lot of things. So it's an option that it's something that I honestly didn't think of up until this point, and trying to put bonds together and stocks together, and I completely forgot about convertible bonds, which is a way of converting a bond into a share of stock. Or sometimes one bond can be converted into thousands of shares of stock, depending on the value of the bond. So this could be huge. They could have been issuing these convertible bonds this whole entire time and then converting them into shares of stock just to use to short the market. And if that's the case, who knows what we could be looking at. So and I had to get that message out to you, and I will keep you updated on some stuff as I find out, but I'm probably gonna have to drop it.
All good.